and thanks for joining us on today's edition of the program. Today is Monday, the 8th of December 2025, and we are delighted to bring you fresh updates on what is making news around the world. I am FRIDA EGBESON, and you are watching Well in Print live on Pan-African Media TV, broadcasting on Creolin Canal 299. Don't go away, for we shall be right back just after the transition. Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just joining us, you are live on Pan-African Media TV, and the program on air is Well in Print with me, FRIDA EGBESON. On today's edition of the program, I will be joined on set by a human rights activist. But before I go introducing our guests for today, up next is our newspaper roundup, taking us with our first flight, taking us to the United Kingdom of America. To the United Kingdom with Financial Times carrying as major caption. This morning, Financial Times is telling us that Netflix seals $83 billion Warner Bros. Deal. Hollywood studios snapped up global broadcast created cable unit splint off to go ahead. And this other story says UN security strategy urges resistance to Europe and surge of Russia's threat. Away from that, we move over to the Yorkshire Post. This morning, the Yorkshire Post is carrying as major caption, PM backs couple call for to free their son. The report says that autistic man has been held in jail for 18 years over car theft. From the UK, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to the United States of America with the Washington Post newspaper this morning. The Washington Post is carrying as major caption, Trump's affordability pitch falters. And Los Angeles Times, still in the United States of America, reads this morning, Castro Theater getting a second act at a pivotal time. Its place in LGBTQT history gives it reopening added meaning amid attacks on the queer community. The Morning Star, still in the United States of America, comes up with a bid urge to boycott Eurovision. European broadcasters join solidarity protests against Israel. From one continent to another, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to the African continent, starting with this day in Nigeria, carrying as major caption, APC governors back Tinubu, declares full confidence in president security drive, pledge complementary measures, implore leaders to quit divide rhetoric, while raising numbers of APC governors shows Nigerians trust, says Sino Olu. Business Day Sunday's captions edition says bumper harvest transfer, low purchasing power, poor storage hurt farmers. Away from that, we move over to the Punch newspaper, still in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that carries this morning as caption, security emergency, Army freezes retirement of officers, Chief of Army Staff invokes service conditions to expand non-power, commanders ordered to manage reactions, military veterans endorse the move. From Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, we move over to neighboring Cameroon, starting with the Guardian Post newspaper that carries a caption this morning, December 8, 2004, December 8, 2025. They have clocked 21 years in same office today. The Sun headlines, distressful death of Anise Kane in detention, calls Gallo for unconditional release of all in detention. While Daily Voice carries, to break anti-brutality strike, army flips trucks, highway reopens, new protests erupt. Ladies and gentlemen, minister suspends notorious checkpoint, while the Median, which is our last newspaper for today but not the least, carries this major caption. Headlines, casualties on battle for change. Atanganji persists on Ekani Anise. Ekani says Atanganji Ekani was always on the wrong side of history. I advised Ekani several times, but he did not listen to me. Ekani was arrested on grievous crimes against the state, he had to pay no matter his health condition. Investigators did their job professionally. Doctors tried in vain to save Kanye's life. You cannot call a Kanye a hero no matter because he is none of the above. This is how we saw it on today's delivery of our newspaper roundup, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, for we shall come back for the part 2 of the program just after the transition.
Pan-African Media pour une Afrique souveraine et unie.
Welcome back, beautiful people. If you are just joining us, you haven't missed out on a lot of things. We are just done with the newspaper roundup that have taken us from running from the United Kingdom to the United States of America to Nigeria and of course to Cameroon. I was saying before we went for the short break that on today's edition of the program I'll be joined on set by a human rights activist who is no new in the house. He is a household name here in the program, and of course he's no one else but Mr. Amadou TARNTEH, who is here to grace our studio this morning. Sir Amadou, you're welcome.
Good morning once more. Yeah, I'm delighted to be your guest again this morning. At least it's always a pleasure for me to join you on stage so that we can discuss on possible way out of the numerous conflict or problems or human rights violations and abuses that we are currently going through in Cameroon, because that's the only little way we think we can contribute to nation building.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I saw you. It's been a while we were on this set together, and I want to say, so how have you been, and how is your human rights organization, Conscience Africaine, moving? How are things with you people?
Well, we thank God we have been doing our best, even though we still have a lot of challenges, which is very normal. In everything we are doing in life, we must have a little or no, so many challenges, especially when it comes to human rights issue, and moreover in a context like our situation in Cameroon, where the human rights violation is exaggerating, especially with the authorities in Cameroon, the members of the defense and security forces goes about committing grievous human rights violations, not allowing citizens to freely express their mind or express their right to freedom of opinion or do some certain things which are normal fundamental rights, because there are some certain rights that you cannot take it away from somebody, whatsoever be the case. At least
they are inherent.
They are inherent. You are supposed to allow citizens to freely express them. I know one of the greatest problems sometimes we have is that when you prevent somebody from talking, the person will keep accumulating the pains, and once the pains will burst out, it will be the consequences may be uncontrollable. That's the reason why we keep calling on the Cameroonian authority to do everything possible to guarantee and protect the right to freedom of expression, assembly, as well as freedom of peaceful protest, because these are fundamental rights that are enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution of Cameroon, as well as the regional and international human rights engagement that have been freely signed and ratified by the state of Cameroon.
All right, and so you followed the newspaper roundup together. I want us to go analyzing. So we'll start with the United Kingdom, but what the newspaper we shall be looking at now is the Yorkshire Post. The Yorkshire Post from the United Kingdom that talks about the UK Prime Minister backing a couple that's calling for the release of their son who has been in detention for 18 years over car theft. 18 years over car theft, TARNTEH, in as much as we do not condone theft. As a human rights activist that you are, don't you think maybe judgment would have been passed, or maybe has been judged 18 years? Is there other way they could go around to sort this out, maybe make his family pay and release him for car theft 18 years? That's like a lifetime.
Well, permit me to say first of all here that one of our major role is to promote justice within our society, not only within Cameroon but in context of the world at large, because normally we keep saying that anybody who have committed a crime need to go in for the crime, and especially pay the law, the national and international laws. So the first thing is that at least every person who commit a crime to go in for it, because once you allow somebody, maybe because it's on the prime minister or whatsoever, that one would encourage others to keep doing the same thing. You know, this one will say that the other person steal a car and was allowed, or nothing was happened to him, and I can equally go and do the same because I'm the son of a minister or son of this and so those are the kind of things that keep promoting impunity and making things very complicated. So we keep saying that everybody who commits a crime need to go in for a crime, except I know that there are always exceptional circumstances. Maybe when to the person, maybe the condition of the person either in prison or some other things may not permit the person to keep staying in prison. For that reason, they can or the president of the republic can grant amnesty to the person. Yeah, because those are other possibilities. Or they think that the person is not in good health and might possibly die in prison. At least they should release the person and look for other ways of maybe solving that problem. But it should not be because you are the son of the prime minister, or someone whosoever, or someone of a high-ranking personality, you should be released because of that. No, every citizen is equal before the law.
All right, so we'll go to Nigeria. We've looked at the United Kingdom. We'll go to the Nigeria and check at the first newspaper, which is the Morning Star. The Morning Star this morning. The Morning Star is still in the UK. Okay, it's talking about the CEO comes up with Brit urge to boycott Eurovision. European broadcasters join solidarity protest against Israel. Now we are still talking Israel. Israel, what is this issue? Israel is Israel that country that when they say please, it's enough, they're not listening.
This issue of the conflict is a very complicated something. That is the reason why we keep on advocating for dialogue as always the best way of a durable solution to have durable solution to every conflict in the world. And whenever there's anything like a conflict, at least we should always privilege the culture of dialogue in the whole world. Even though today some of the institutions like the United Nations Security Council or United Nations, they have politicized everything. So sometimes it becomes very difficult for us to address some of this problem because at the level of the United Nations Security Council, these people have that. The other organs that have the different countries that have veto power, have this Russia, US, and all the like. So one of the things that these people are doing that they make things in such a way that for the United Nations to intervene on an issue, there will definitely be the accord of all these people. So it becomes very difficult. Sometimes because of their political interests, this country will not want to go and intervene on the other country. This one don't want to go and intervene. If 5 countries come together or 4 come together and one person is still lacking, that's the solution to that problem will never come. That's the reason why you are seeing what is going on in Russia today. There's no way for the United Nations to do anything because Russia is already part of that permanent.
The UN is on a tight corner.
That is the issue. Those are the reason why we keep saying that there is need for them to readdress some of this issue at the level of the United Nations so that they can solve the problem.
Veto powers could even be, taking.
Of course, the issue of veto power is what is causing the greatest problem with the problem we have in the world today. Because all the other 4 powers can come today, and once one other organ or one other state saying that no, they are not party to this, mean that they cannot intervene. Other country can intervene individually, but they cannot go they cannot go in as a United Nation. So that's the reason why it's making things very complicated. At least they need to review some of these things in order to facilitate things. Such a way that even if one country or 2 countries or who have veto power are not part of it. Yes, once the majority accepts something, at least they should go ahead and intervene.
So they want to tag everybody along.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Anyway, it's still politics. It's what we call world politics.
And that is it. So move to Nigeria. This day is telling us about APC governors that back Tinubu. They declare that they have confidence in the president's security drive. We are looking at this day, and when we talk about security drive, we see what is happening in Nigeria. The Christians and I don't know the Muslims, you see how they have been killing Christians. In such a situation, can we really say, is it just because politics want to please persons? People want to please the head of state to be on the good side of their books. Maybe when he is re-elected, they can maintain you in your position. What is happening in Nigeria? We'll see the way Christians are being slain. Can we say the security drive of President Tinubu, though we are not Nigerians, is really something we have confidence in, or we should strive on how to resolve the situation?
Well, as I said right at the beginning, because I said we always pray for the culture of dialogue in every situation. I know that whenever there's a problem, the best way to address this problem and have a durable solution is through dialogue. But first of all, we should equally while equally condemning any form of violence, be it because of or targeting particular group of people, either because of their religion or because of their opinion or whatsoever. These are things that need to be condemned in the world today, because we are no longer in those days where the people they used to target people maybe because of their race, the race they are coming from, or religion or whatsoever. So those things are condemnable in stronger terms. But that notwithstanding, we should equally understand that the President Tinubu only inherited those things. Those are things that have been happening for quite a long time now. And just maybe even if you have not been able to address it, because it's something that have been happening for quite a long time. The other past president have been facing the same scenario.
The same situation.
Yeah, so but I think that the Tinubu should use that opportunity now during his own mandate to try to address this issue. If you do that, then in history you go in for history as somebody who solved this kind of problem with Muslim Christian issue, because those are very complicated issues. We need to do everything possible to avoid all sorts of things from happening, because it will destroy the entire country. Sometimes it starts as just gradually in one part of the country, and if it is not well handled, and it spread to other countries, and at the end you will see that it will be a serious problem to the country.
We are called upon to coexist peacefully.
Of course.
You are a Christian, I'm a Muslim, you are a Nigerian, I'm a Cameroonian.
Of course. We are natural, we are human beings, so it doesn't matter our religious background.
Yes. God. I think that we serve the same God.
We serve the same God, of course.
I call it God. It's the same person.
It's the same person, just the appellation that differs.
Yes, so we think that really they should look into it and see that peace returns between the Christians and the Muslim community in Nigeria. There is nothing as important as peace or as people living together as one person. Okay. So there we'll leave Nigeria, we enter Cameroon. We want to say we'll be having quite much to talk about in Cameroon. So we'll take newspaper after newspaper. We are starting with the Guardian Post daily newspaper this morning that captions is talking about ministers who have been in their positions for the past 21 years. You can see the newspaper there with me. You have the Minister of Scientific Research, Madeleine Twente. You have the Minister of Trade, Luke Magamba Tangana. You have so let me come back to you. 21 years in power, 21 years in the same position. We have is it 43-year-old regime?
Of course.
And we have people who have been in power for 21 years. Is this normally in a country where things are done properly? Should one person sit in the same position for 21 years? Is that not giving the person too much comfort to be able to do things their own way, not the way things should be done?
Well, let me start here by first of all saying that my problem is not even the time they are spending in that particular position. Because normally in a reasonable country where things are going well, if people can even spend more than that, once you are doing your work well, then I will not have any problem with that. Because if they ask you about the result of what these people have done throughout that period, that's where there will be a serious problem. So in a situation like Cameroon, where we have little or no accountability of some of these ministers, they just manage things the way they want it to be. Because when somebody in a country, when you are given a position and you realize that the person is not doing at least not working well, at least you need to keep changing the person, changing them, put other people so that they can at least keep going. Something new will come.
Something new.
Well, yeah, come with a new idea and develop new things. So when somebody allow somebody to stay in power on a particular position for almost 20 years and above, mean that the person will take that, start managing that place now like his own home, his or her own home, and things will not be able to go well, no matter how competent the person will be. But once the person is very relaxed on a particular position,
his routines will stay.
The routine will stay. That's where there's always a problem. At least that's the reason why we keep telling our country that even if somebody is there for that long time, at least there need to be accountability, because that's the greatest thing that is destroying this country. Since they will have a very bad form of governance, at least these people need to be accountable. They need to be accountable to the regime. I don't know, maybe because they are very loyal to the regime in place, or the CBDM, or because which CBDM, they have decided to maintain them for quite a long time now, but which is not normal.
21 years in power. That's Cameroon, of course. That gives room for too much, or laissez-aller, like my French people will say, it's too much laissez-aller, and you manage it like your home, just like you said. For me, I think 21 years in the same office is too much time. It's true that they say experience, you gain more experience and you do things differently. Monotony at times can be very annoying.
Yeah, it's very boring.
Yes. It's like people inherited their parents' positions or chiefdoms.
Yeah.
Then you stay there for 21 years. So we are leaving the Guardian Post. We'll look at the Sun newspaper. The Sun newspaper is talking about the distressful death of Anise Ikane. Anise Ikane in detention. It says calls galore for unconditional release of all in detention. You know, when they talk of all in detention here, don't know if it's just people that were arrested in relation to the 2025 October 12, 2025 presidential elections, or we are combining people who are maybe those who were detained as a result of the conflict in the two English-speaking regions of the country. But you are a human rights activist, and you are here with me this morning looking at what happened to Anise Ikane. Can you say this call that galloping people are talking human rights, organs are talking, individuals are calling for, honestly, the release, unconditional release, like nothing should hold. They should just release everybody. Do you think this can be something to appease minds?
Well, let me first of all start here by condemning in stronger terms the demise of and the circumstances surrounding the demise of President Anise Ikane, which is really unacceptable. You know, I know that we are in a democratic state, what they call a state of law. And when normally in a democratic state or state of law, citizens have the right to freely express their mind, because it's really ridiculous and unacceptable in that institution, in our situation or in our context in Cameroon. Citizens are still being targeted because of their opinion, which is not acceptable. Citizens have their right to fundamental right to freedom of expression, freedom of movement, or freedom of assembly, or freedom to peacefully protest. It has become unacceptable when people are targeted because of their opinion, because we all know the circumstances that Mr. Anise Ikane went through, and that's the more reason why others are already calling for. We have already, even before the demise of Anise Ikane, we have already been calling for the immediate and conditional release of all those who have been arrested and detained as a result of the post-electoral conflict. because it's really unacceptable. Because people simply express their mind or their view about what happened, and targeting people because of what their opinion or whatsoever they said because of something, or coming out to protest peacefully, which is a fundamental right, is really unacceptable. And those are the same things that happen in the northwest and southwest of Cameroon, where we still have the conflict ongoing today, where many citizens of this part of the country were arrested and detained either for little or no reason, just simply expressing their opinion or whatsoever something. You were taken arrested, you were arrested and detained. But in Cameroon, you see people who have committed grievous offenses, they are going unpunished. Let me cite, for example, here when we talk about the post-electoral conflict. Many people came out to say that no, the opposition FSNC have won the election. They came out and said they were in this polling station. This is how the result was there, and at the end, this is not what came out of the polling station. In this other place, vote was stolen, or this is what happened. This is what happened. We have videos and other things, but no one was arrested before electoral malpractices. No one was arrested up to date. To the best of my knowledge, nobody has been arrested. And moreover, during this post-electoral violence, we witnessed a situation where people come out to protest. There were some bad seeds who went about breaking into people's private homes, breaking into bank and all these things to steal, because people always take opportunity of such things to do terrible things.
Damages.
Yes, but we see a very clear scenario where military members of different security forces shot live bullet on armed civilians, but nothing has been done. No one has been, to the best of my knowledge, no military or police officer has been arrested because of what they did. Nothing has happened up to date. So I don't know what we are protecting here. At least if with Cameroon, we think that they want to punish people, at least they should do the right thing. They go and even somebody who break into somebody's home or break into a bank and all the like, those are criminals. They are no longer peaceful protesters. Those people should be arrested, as well as these members of the defense and security forces who shot live bullet on armed civilians, who tortured civilians and all the like. So they went about arresting people, detaining them, and for all those things. These things are not really, they cannot bring a lasting solution to what we are fighting for. That's the reason why I'll keep insisting that the culture of dialogue, we need to develop that culture of dialogue, because in a modern or a democratic society, the best way of having permanent solution to problems is through dialogue and not through violence. Because when we continue to use violence in order to solve problems, we always end up on the bad side. It's radicalize people more. So that's the reason why we keep praying on the government of Cameroon to always privilege the culture of dialogue in every situation in this country. We're having so many problems from right to left. The other day now we're having hearing about the truck drivers. We mean by the other day we just left here about this one, the other one, and so on and so on. When the problems start like this, it's always very easy to start, but to stop it, that's why it's always very complicated. That's the reason why we should always pray for dialogue. We should not keep not saying that no, these are criminals, these people have taken, these are drug addicts, and so on and so forth. Where they don't even take that drugs from? It's because we are living in a laissez-faire country where drugs enter anyhow. People, they consume at the poor, or at the border, they receive bribe and allow these things to come into the country. And when the people consume now, you are blaming those who are consuming it, not blaming. You are not forgetting those that allow those things to come out of inside the country after collecting bribe from them.
The root cause is not looked at. You want to solve the
effects. It's not possible. That's the reason why we have so many problems. Look at the ongoing conflict in the northwest and south region of Cameroon. This conflict, they know the root cause of all these problems. And instead of going direct to root cause to address the issue, they are bringing cosmetic solutions. They say looking about the effect, saying that this one have done this one, this one have done this one. But what caused this man to pick a weapon or a gun and start doing all these things he's doing? So let's go back to the root cause of the issue and address it in order to have a permanent solution to that problem. Because you cannot have a permanent solution to what is going on in the northwest and south region of Cameroon, or even in Cameroon in general, if you don't go to the root cause of the problem and address it permanently. And moreover, we keep saying that solution to political problems should always come to look for political solution to the political problem. We should not use violence to address issues that has to do with the opinion of citizens, because in some situation you cannot. Some of them are based on ideology. Like the problem in the northwest and south region, and we all know very well that it's an ideological problem. And you don't kill an ideological problem with the use of gun and all that. Like people already have that mentality on their mind. Even if you kill some of these people today and forcefully restore peace, in the next generation will ever come up back with the same story and will still continue again. So if you are the leader of this country, you are leader of Cameroon. Even the Cameroon of today and Cameroon of tomorrow. So if you are doing anything today, you should know that whatever you are doing will have an impact in the future. So we should always do things in a way that will have a permanent solution, that even the next generation will come and enjoy it, and not the situation where we create. You only do it because you are in power now. You think that you can solve the problem cosmetically now, and tomorrow when the thing will start, will no longer be there, will no longer affect you. No, you should are the service of the nation, and you serve the nation and do the right thing that is normally supposed to be done.
Yeah, normally you're talking about the post-electoral protest and the crisis that took place here after the proclamation of results of October 12 presidential elections. I want to say we saw these people, like said, break through shops, supermarkets, gas stations, coal stores. But we've had the Anglophone regions have gone for 9 years. We are going to a decade. When they want to strike, they'll not go breaking things. What happens? Is it because Douala or other towns are bigger? Yeah, is it because we are in metropolitan cities that people indulge in those things?
Well, let me say first of all that the situation in the northwest and southwest of Cameroon, when this other issue with Cameroon is they are two completely different things.
Okay.
Normally, in the northwest and southwest of most of the when we started with peaceful protests, this was done by professionals, especially lawyers and teachers.
Yes.
So most of
people
these
who knew
protests,
what they wanted.
So most of these protests were done by them. Because normally, very few people, the general population did not come out to protest and do all these things. So, but through other protests, we have never heard of breaking into banks, breaking on this, doing this, stealing gas bottles and all the like. This is never happened. But they have their own effects or always have things that things are going. Like now, when the conflict is already there, it's very difficult to see people. Normally, we used to see people. They say that these are a group of thieves. These are a group of people, bangers, smokers in this quarter. But most of the part of the northwest and southern region, we don't see them. The thieves too now have joined these people. They have joined created their own gang and they are kidnapping people for ransom and all the like. In some places, like recently when we were coming back from Kumbu, when I went to Kumbu to carry out some fact-finding mission on the situation on the ground, we discovered that even at Sabga in the Mesam division, there are some thieves there who are always standing there. Some of them don't even use a weapon guns, but they they are just taking a stick and carving a form of gun. They tied rubber on it. Whenever people are coming, especially at night, they use it now to frighten people and collect money. So people, a lot of things have happened. That's the reason why even 2 days ago, some of the two of those robbers were killed in that part of the country by the population. So when they arrive, because that particular person has been a very complicated one. Each time travelers are coming, they will use gun and all the like, frighten them now, collect money. You call other people and ask for, you call your people and ask for more ransom so that will send them before they leave you. So the population has become tired. The people have been tired of those things and very frustrated. So they decide now to to handle it their own way.
That is it.
Even sometimes the military in that particular person, sometimes when they were passing through that area, by the day we went to the military were there. But the other day, not every day that they come. Yesterday, the 2 days ago, they were not. They no longer did. So the population now decided to settle the score by
their vigilante groups and they apprehend the people.
Yes, that's the issue. So it's really not the right thing to be done. At least we should be saying that the people should have right to peaceful protest. But I say peaceful, because not to buy this. And sometimes even the different aspects have a rule. Whenever they are doing what they call peaceful protest, they have a rule to guide the peaceful protesters to prevent them from creating any form of violence and all the like. But here in Cameroon, they inflict they instead look for ways to inflict to add more injuries on the wound that we already have. That's the reason. Thereby
they come with gas accumulation.
Yeah, thereby provoking the population or making the people more frustrated and angry again. So that's the reason why we need to look for better ways of doing
it. There's a difference between light and day. We are still night and day. We are still in night, experiencing night. I want to believe that our day will, very soon we'll reach day. Yeah,
we only reach that day if we fight for. They say that we talk about freedom. We say freedom is not given. People fight for it, and it's always a continuous process. So that's the reason why in the early 90s, some of our parents died because of to make us be able to do what we are doing today. If I'm able to stand on the media and talk about the case, at least because other people fight for this. So that's the reason why we keep saying that at least we need to be moving forward, not going backward. If today we are still targeting people because of their opinion, something that we are taught that we have long past that level. Because democracy is a process too as well. So we grew on democracy gradually. But you say Cameroon is going in front and going back behind again. So it becomes very complicated. Which dance are we dancing the bar? We are dancing about the mafia dance.
All right, so we'll take Daily Voice. Daily Voice newspaper this morning has a caption. Can we please have Daily Voice on the screen? Daily Voice is carrying as caption this morning. They say, are we okay? That's really does. They say to break anti-brutality strike, army flips trucks. They say, yes. High search observed reopens, highway reopens, and new protests erupt. That's not my point of interest. My point of interest is that they say minister suspends notorious checkpoints. Notorious checkpoints. That's the Minister of Transport. Suspending notorious checkpoints. At times these people, there's what the Frenchman will call infraction. These checkpoints that germinate at every point, you do not understand that everywhere you want to drive few steps, you meet a checkpoint, It's really a problem, and the minister in this case concerning this truck issue has decided to suspend some of the checkpoints, maybe that were uncalled for. Do you think it's a good move? It's going to be like something that will appease the minds of their concerned a bit.
You know, I keep saying that normally in leadership, we need to think about proactiveness. So when you are a leader, you need to be foreseeing some certain things, some certain problems that you think that will happen in future, and try to address them before you get there. Because in Cameroon, sometimes we have reactive leaders. They only wait for something to happen. Once it happens now, they start looking for some kind of funny solution. And that's the reason why sometimes some of the solution instead come and make things more complicated. You know, when there is already a problem, sometimes we will bring a good solution that would have been used since and address the issue. And you may bring some of the solution, and the people no longer want to listen to you. So in Cameroon, I don't even understand what is happening. The number of checkpoints are too much. And sometimes they tell us that some of those checkpoints are fake. But they don't tell
any mission order.
They don't have any way to know how to work. So their citizens don't have any way to advance some of those things. Sometimes when you ask for the mission order of those, they will tell you all types of things. They even threaten you. They will beat you and kick you, torture you, say you don't have any voice, don't have anything to say. And when you even file a complaint against them, it will not go anywhere. So that's the reason why there's a problem. Normally, when you have Alex, because I know that with the issue of dialogue is always very, very important. That's the reason why I keep saying dialogue. You know, even before the coming of the ongoing conflict in Northwest and Southwest Cameroon, we have seen petitions that were written by lawyers, teachers, and the government decided to stay silent. And that's the reason why we have all those kind of things. Because even these truck drivers, we have seen documents that were written to the ministry, telling them their problem, how they have been going through. The minister decided not to say anything. Now, when they start protesting or start whatever they are doing now, you come now and you began to use force and all these things are really uncalled for. So they do need to look for better ways to address the problem.
They want to embrouiller the truck.
Yeah, they need to look for better ways to address this issue. You don't use it for the other day. I saw some videos of some of this thing caterpillar pulling these things on the road, some of this truck on the road and pushing it. Those things are no longer going to bring solution. It's very normal. At least these people should look for better ways to look for the leaders of this group, look for better ways of addressing this problem with them. Look, initially, government should be humble enough. They should not think that when you address a problem with somebody means that you are weaker. No, you are not weak. So that's a sign of a strong person. When you are a strong person is somebody who, whatsoever, even if you beat the person and do whatsoever you do, the person will still humbly come back to you and say, no, let's discuss and look for better ways of addressing this issue. I see Cameroonians, and whatever will happen is the interest of Cameroon that is at stake. Because when they are not, these truck are not transferring their goods from right to left, it's the citizen that will suffer. You go to the market to buy this, you don't see it. Go to the market to take look, you don't see it. And the government will losing taxes and all those kind of things. So it's the entire country that will suffer. So these people, they are our leaders, at least should represent us and do the right thing that they're supposed to do. At least start being very proactive. Try to solve problem once before you get to a very complicated stage. Have
you been to the Southwest recently? Have you seen the number of checkpoints?
No, they will tell you that it's because of the conflict, because that's what these people will say. And at the same time, they'll keep telling you that some checkpoints are fake checkpoints. Is that thing in Northwest and Northern region of Cameroon?
The number of checkpoints, I don't know what they are checking. Because it is terrible.
No, when
you cover Boya Kumba, because when you live in Douala Boya does not have a problem.
Yes.
The problem is when you leave Boya, then growing up, we want to say yes, there's a conflict zone, a crisis zone, but even at that.
No, but the issue there is that once there is a conflict, the state, the kind of government we have here, they give opportunity for this military defense and security force to make money. Because the truth there is that once you see what are those people even doing, those checkpoints, they only stop the car, ask for money from the driver, and people go. They don't take most of them don't even take time to take their identity card. They don't check the backboard to see whatsoever inside the
and when they check the ID cards, if you do not have, you just have to slip 500 transfer,
and
1,000 to the driver will give.
Or they don't even they don't check the vehicle to see if what the car is carrying. So they spend their time collecting money. So what's the difference or the need of all these things? It's not that the government is creating opportunity for these people to go ahead extorting money from the drivers.
And that is why people are very loyal to the regime, because where you are at your end doing your things the way you're doing them, because it is terrible.
Normally it's not supposed to be like that. Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. At least
and there's a more reason why this crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region is stretchy. It's not having an end.
Yeah, that's the
Nobody wants it to come to an end. You come to a village, you have a case that the council can handle.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, somebody makes a call because they already have their CIDs in the village. They say this guy did this. The village has said, do not call them. We are going to handle. All of a sudden, you see a military vehicle appear. Voila. Where is the person that has done this? By the time you say, no, I don't know, they bundle you, you are behind their vehicle. By the time you say, I don't know, I have no idea, because you do not want to go against the council. The council have said, we are going to solve this matter. I faced a situation like that in the village. They just bundled a guy. A guy stole from his warehouse. He buys cocoa. A guy stole. So at night, he himself took over. They have started selling. He took over, then recognized the guy. Yeah. When he recognized this guy, he shouted that night. The guy had already had one back. Then shot towards the guy through the back, ran. In the morning, he complained. The council is handling the matter. Somebody had called the men in uniform.
Mm-hmm.
They just came. The thief himself ran because the village sends people to his house. He has escaped. Then now the military vehicle come. Where is that place where they have stolen cocoa, bags of cocoa? They are shown the guy who is buying his cocoa, and they say, where did they steal cocoa from you? The guy said no. Honestly, it is a complicated situation. The guy said no because the village is already handling the situation. They bundled him and put behind their vehicle. That guy paid 1.5 million to be released for nothing.
No, the issue is that is the reason why we keep talking on the issue of war entrepreneur almost every day, because the conflict is very difficult for us to have solution to that problem, because we have a lot of war entrepreneurs. A lot of people are making huge money from them. These the ministers, the directors. Some of them will have this high-ranking military personnel. They are making huge gain from these things, and even the separatists as well. The same thing you are saying is happening in so many villages in our area, in Goksunja and with division and other like. The same thing is happening when it comes to separatists. When you go and report a case to the council, basically you say that the separatists will land there and carry you and take you away after they would ask for ransom
or something else happens to you, or you go and you do not return.
You go and do not return. That's what is happening, because this war entrepreneurs, they are trying to impede peace. They are doing everything possible to impede peace, because they know that if the war ends today, they will no longer make the gains they are making. So they are doing everything possible to ensure that the war continues, so that they will continue to make a huge gain from where, trying to reap from where there is no harvest, from where there is no reap. So these things are making things more complicated in this modern, the northern and southern region of Cameroon. Because they have high-ranking personnel in the ministry. We have high-ranking military personnel. We have the separatists who are there. Every day we hear they are kidnapping people for ransom. They extort money. When you take the ride or the car from Bamenda to Kumbu, you understand what Cameroonian citizens are going through. Because normally there are people who are traveling even without a single franc, but several fighter will oblige you to put more, to give them money. I was a victim of all this thing while I was traveling to Kumbu just 2 weeks ago. Even some of the separatists, some of them knew me very well. Whenever I want to talk to them, they say no. I said what we do is that we give assistance, or we try to give legal assistance and other like to victims of human rights violation, including your children or your parents who have been victims of arbitrary arrest and detention by the state. Because I gave them some of the example of a case we are handling, the case of newborn baby who are arrested in Bamising, and they are still at Bamenda Central Prison up to date. It's almost 6 months. I told them that those are the things that we are handling, and asked some of those their colleagues if we have ever asked even a single friend from their family, but those things we do them for free to assist them. They say they don't want to hear that, you should keep their own money, so they don't want to hear whatsoever I'm trying to say. So they don't even care. And when you see those things, you just imagine what the ordinary citizens goes through on daily basis. And that's even recently, as I said, we made this visit to the northern and southern region of Cameroon. I had to go to prison to meet these victims to know their condition, because as part of how they are treated, as part of our mission, of the mission of Concern African, we have mission to offer legal assistance to some of the victims of human rights violations, particularly in the northwest and southern region of Cameroon, through the company of our assistant or work in collaboration with other partners. Because for that, let me equally use this opportunity to thank the Canadian High Commissioner in Yaoundé for always working in collaboration, assisting human rights activities, as well as other partners like Mandela Center International. Sometimes work in collaboration with them to offer legal assistance to some of these victims of human rights violations. So these are exactly the things we are doing. So we had to go to prison to meet. I saw the children. The children don't left hospital. They are just sick on and off because of the detention conditions. Even the elderly woman, Madame Wosera, was still the mother of the separatists. The woman is there and she's sick. Up to date, you can see scar of the torture she underwent at the Brigade Gendarmerie end up. So on her leg and her fingers, like you see her wounds all over her body. So those things are not normal. We are in a state of law. That's why we keep telling them that they are at the prison now. The court now is accusing them of failure to denounce separatists. That they failed to denounce separatists. So I just imagine what they are talking about. Yeah, that's their crime. They say that they failed to denounce separatists. So it's very funny. Even the babies, the newborn baby failed to denounce those separatists. That's the issue. If you want to take it that way, we have to arrest everybody, even some of these administrative authority and the member of the Defense and Security Force, because there are some certain funny things that you witness there. Sometimes you see the military leave the camp, they want to go and attack a separatist checkpoint or area which is before they arrive, the one of the military have already dig into the separatists and they escape. And the same thing when the separatists are coming, some of them will even call the military. So these are the kind of things that if you want to arrest everybody will be arrested. At least we are instead of law, Cameroon should follow the rule of the law and make sure that nobody should suffer for the crime that has been committed by another person. If they want to go, they go again behind those separatists and arrest them or kidnap or kill. They want to do whatever they are doing with them and spare the civilians. These people are going through terrible conditions. That's the reason why whatsoever be the case, we keep on calling on the government of Cameroon to do everything possible to release these women and these children who are still at the Bamenda Central Prison for almost 6 months today. So there's no reason why they are still being detained. Up to today, they have not started undergoing trial at the court. They are still at the preliminary stage. So it's really unacceptable.
And the trial may never come.
That is what they are doing.
And they'll just stay there and decorate the prison rooms. Or I don't know if it's rooms or the cells.
It's very funny, but however, we are working on it. I believe that the possible result will come as soon as possible. At least the government need to act on these things so that we can end this kind of funny things.
It's indeed a terrible situation to even recount. Okay, we look at the media newspaper, please. The media newspaper this morning is carrying as caption, they say, casualties on battle for change. Atanganji persists on Anise Ekane. Ekane Anise. Ekane was always on the wrong side of history. Those are the things said by the Cameroon's Minister of Territorial Administration regarding the death of a detainee, Anise Ekane, Anise Ekane, the president of Manidan political party, who died in detention. So he said, I advised Ekane several times, but he would not listen to me. Ekane was arrested on grievous crimes against the state. He had to pay no matter his health condition. You see, investigators did their job professionally. Doctors tried in vain to save Ekane's life. And he concludes, you cannot call Ekane a hero or a martyr. He is none of the above. That's Minister of Territorial Administration, Tanganji Paul, who is talking in relation to Anise's death that has gotten tongues wagging the national and international community because the circumstances under which he died, people have condemned. You as a human rights activist that you are, do you think at this point in time all these things that the minister is saying are called for? Are they not uncalled for? And he says he's dead, and I think they should allow him rest, if at all he's resting. Is this not adding salt to injury, like adding more pain to his family?
Well, absolutely, this is adding more pain to the family, not the family, the political family, and all Cameroonians who knows him. Because normally, as a citizen, we know very well that it's not the state that has to decide that what is it. It's this person who dies is a hero or not a hero. It's best for the population to base it and say it, because this body. And instead, Ekane is a strong combatant, somebody who have fight for justice. Right at the early 90s, he have gone through a lot.
Because I don't know him to be a criminal. He's a politician.
No, the issue there is that what these people are saying, they want to satisfy them. Say they already know the truth. The problem is that, and instead, Ekane have died because of his stand, for his political stand, because he want to see Cameroonians live a better life. Because and these people since today, I don't know if they derive satisfaction in seeing Cameroonians suffering. They have decided now to kill and say Ekane because they know that he was very vocal, and he was somebody who stood his ground and to say no. What's be because one change at the helm of this government, want Cameroonians to live a better life, want to see good tide road, want to see potable water all over the part of the country, we want to see Cameroonians having jobs and all the like. Because of this thing, he was targeted. So we all know that he's a hero, and that the Minister of Territorial Administration cannot stop us for Cameroonians from calling him a hero. He is our hero, a hero of Cameroonians. Even the minister knows that he is representing Cameroon. Someone like Minister of Territorial Administration, he's not speaking. He's a Christian, and never speaking like a Christian. He's not speaking like an African. Because you know, when somebody dies, whatsoever be the case, even if the person was a criminal, whatsoever, at least to respect the death. And whatsoever be the case, you have to respect the death. Because the kind of thing the minister is saying today is really shameful to somebody at his at the level of his caliber to make such a outrageous statement. It's not acceptable. When you talk like that, even the family, two people keep increase more pains on the family. At least keep saying that. Let's allow Cameroonians to freely express their mind on pursuit. We should not traumatize, we should not kill people, we should not arrest and detain people simply because of their opinion. We have long gone above that level. We are in the democratic state. At least the minister should say things. When you say the minister was advising him, and he said the kind of was not a child.
Advising was a child.
It was not a child, and he has the right to free opinion. So it's not that this minister could say whatever he's saying, but Mr. Ekane knew what was good for him. And whatsoever be the case, somebody, even if you are a prisoner or you are a prisoner or suspect or whatsoever, you have the right to proper medical care, proper medical treatment. If it was all allegation that was going over on social media that some of his extract of the machine he was using to himself was seized by the gendarmes and all the like. And this thing went on for quite a long time before they were later handing these things over to him. So these are the indirect ways of killing the person with that directly uses a mail or gun or whatever to shoot him. Yes, because it's really unacceptable. everybody has the right to proper medical attention. That's the reason why we keep calling on the authority to carry out proper investigation, tell Cameroon exactly what happened. We know they will never do that, but we keep telling them that they should do that, because sometimes they will tell, whenever something happens with the ministry, these people were very fast to come and communicate and tell us that they have opened investigation. At the end, it will just end there. Today we are talking about more than 1 year after the case of Longe Longe was severely tortured. No, the investigation have not gone anywhere. They said Mr. said that we're going to come up with a solution or the result as soon as possible. Till today, more than 1 year, we are still waiting for the outcome of the investigation that was initiated on the torture that Longe Longe and others went through. So the same thing is happening, and this issue of impunity is what is killing our country. People are being protected because they have some people on high position, or they seem as if it's the government that is sending some of these people, which is not supposed to be like that. Yes, you cannot be using a state apparatus to torture citizens there. Use this kind of thing to do this. At least everybody should go in for his or her own crime. When somebody does something that is not right, at least person should go in for a crime. I would not say that not by torture. They use humane way of doing these things. So not through torture. Torture is prohibited whatsoever be. There's no justification for torture, because even as on the International Convention Against Torture, it is very clear that even the order from your superior cannot justify torture. So meaning that there's no justification for torture.
You are the one perpetrating it.
You are the one perpetrating it. So you have to go in for your crime. Our government is stop protecting these people. When they protect them, they are when you, at least they often say that when you fail to denounce or fight injustice, don't forget that it will come tomorrow on your own part.
Goes around comes
yeah, but it comes around obviously. So it just comes to you as a debt, and you have to pay it too.
When the death of Anise Kani, President Sekani, broke out, this took me back to thinking of the way Mendoza died in detention. Yes, and of Ayapor. Barrister Ayapor.
But yeah, Barrister Ayapor, Justice Ayapor is one of the highest victims of the
whose bank accounts were blocked. He's frozen. You
Yeah.
see, his retirement benefit was not given. The man died in misery like somebody who lacked something.
Those are indirect. That's why I say that the state has its own way. That our state government has their own way of killing people, not by using that gun to shoot.
Physical.
Whatsoever, when you deprive somebody from eating, you mean that indirectly you are trying to kill the person. Deprived from proper medical care. Justice Ayapor could not even have proper medical attention again because he was deprived of his rights, different rights, be the right of and all that, his bank account frozen, all these things, simply because of his own political opinion. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Then why are we allowed to have numerous political parties when we not allow people to think freely and to say what they want? Because every party will have their ideology. They must not carry the same ideology.
They must not carry the same ideology.
Then we should just have. We should be how do they say monoparty?
No, it's not normal.
Monopartism. We should go back to one party system.
Yes, multipartism in the situation where citizens who are trying to do this, they don't give that opportunity because maybe Justice Ayapor was initially with you people, and later on, if he thought that the ideology you people were following was the reason why you are destroying this country, they decided to follow another option, and you try to deprive him of all his rights, which is not acceptable. Justice Ayapor is one of the greatest victims of this injustice in this country. That's
what ran through my mind after Anise's death. I remember Justice Ayapor. Then I remember I was the last journalist Ayapor spoke with before he was arrested.
Okay.
Yes. The last, and people were running, give me excerpts of your program you had, and all of a sudden. Then somebody told me, you contributed to Ayapor arrest. I say, how? But it's quite regrettable.
No, very regrettable indeed.
We're in the 21st century. I think
in the 21st century, at least things should not be.
It should not be as if we still live in caves.
Oh no, that is it. At least this level of dictatorship in this country, they have to stop it. At least have to stop it. Allow citizens to even to talk. People are unable to talk. People are talking and they are afraid because as they are talking, they say no. I'm afraid that since I'm not saying what these people want to hear, I may be the target. This thing is completely wrong. Some people like this victim, like and they say they can Justice Ayapor and so many of them. There have been so many of them that have died because of this same situation in Cameroon, which is really unacceptable. We keep saying that people, whatsoever be the case, nobody should undergo any form of torture or should undergo any form of threat or should be killed or because of his or her opinion. People should be allowed to freely express their mind in this democratic state. Because you cannot go and sign law and ratify laws that you want to come and guarantee this freedom, and at the end you don't allow people to speak again at the same time. How are you protecting or guaranteeing all these things? So it's really an unfortunate situation.
Imagine there are days you take your microphone and your camera, we go to the field, we want to do a vox pop, like you want to have a people's view on an issue. For instance, when you go now to the field to ask questions about what happened to Anise Kani, nobody wants to talk.
No one wants to talk. People
are afraid. You are there, they are talking.
Their freedom is not
guaranteed. Off camera.
Their freedom is not guaranteed.
They'll talk off camera. Immediately you say, so please can I? They say no. Everybody's like no. Please. They should allow people. We should demonstrate democracy. We are a democratic nation. That's what they say. So it should be practical, we should be able to see that democracy is really thriving.
Yes,
so we are still looking at Mr. Tanganji's words on Anise Kani. They had advised, of course, that to Anise. Anise was arrested on grievous crimes against the state. We spoke about that. We knew him as a political figure. We can say it's an elite, a worthy Cameroonian elite. For me, that's what I know him to be. I didn't know him to be a thief.
He was.
Yes, so investigators did their job professionally. So they had investigated him before arresting him.
So in Cameroon, they arrest you before they start investigating you.
The Almighty Minister of Territorial Administration says the investigators had done their job professionally. So that no matter his health condition, he was supposed to pay. Doctors tried in vain. Were they in time? No. You cannot call him a martyr. What a word.
No, he's not Minister Atanga. Let me just say this once more. He's not Minister Atanga or any other member of government that have to declare and say Ekane a martyr. It's only the citizens that have the power, because the power belongs to the people. Somebody like this minister, they are just our servant, because I don't work with them. They are just our servant. That's the reason why we keep calling on them to be accountable to citizens, because the power belongs to the people. The power belongs. So it's only for Cameroonians to say whether this man is a martyr or not. So not so like people they are watching President Pobia saying that Pobia is a hero, all these things. It's only within them. So the Cameroonians knows the truth about everything. So Cameroonians, the population or the people of Cameroon that decide who is a hero and who is a martyr. So it's not a minister who come out and say that no, this person was not a hero, because we all know the role that Mr. Anise Ekane have played in the democratic process of Cameroon. So for that reason, we know very well that he has been a very
he has been very instrumental.
He is very instrumental, and his vision was to see people live a better life. So whatever anybody who is fighting for the interest of the entire country, he should be a martyr, not somebody who is there. People who are fighting for their personal interest and the interest of that of their family. So Anise Ekane is a hero, and he will forever remain a hero.
And this has gotten me thinking about the president of the FSNC. It means he cannot even just show his face in this country.
No, hey, that was a different level.
Danger looms the air.
No, they don't want to see him. That is considered an escape to out of the country. So these people, they don't want to hear about that.
God have mercy.
They say no, they have their power and they will do everything possible to conserve the power. Because whether the people decide or they don't decide, they will still be the one to make the final say. You write your exam, you pass very well, have your excellent marks. At the end, they will give you 0, and you don't have any voice to complain. So we said nobody should complain. Everybody should accept what the Constitutional Council have said, whether it's correct or it's not correct, and you must accept it. That's what they are saying. Because when
the Constitutional Council is reading the results, you are not there with them. They read what they have. So
no, they read what they have. What have been forwarded to them? Because I heard some Cameroonians saying that no, they want the Constitutional Council to make history. I said, make history in which way? They said no, they should read the real result. I said, how they don't some of them don't even know the real result. These things are always forwarded to them. That is what you have to read. This is the final result. So at the level of the electorate where they know the truth behind everything. Sometimes even those at the Constitutional Council, they might know their truth individually, but it's in the name of the state or standing at their different position. They don't know the real thing that is there.
It's like having an emergency meeting with members of government as a minister of communication. They decide this is what you want to say, this is what you shall be informing the public about, and you come to say what you think.
Well, what you think, not what they say.
How
possible
can that be?
They will dismiss in Cameroon just that very the same person who appointed.
The more reason why when Issa Chiroma Bakari was doing his campaign, even when he went to the Northwest, he said he was a government spokesman. He was just in front of the cameras, saying what has been agreed upon to say, not as if it came from him.
Well, that is the truth. No, the truth is that once you are working with the government, especially with a regime like this, because in some state, in the very democratic state, ministers or directors are allowed to do their work genuinely, do their work by their competent. They take appoint you somewhere, God know you are competent. When you go there is no influence on the background. In Cameroon here, we have a situation where there is influence, political influence, and all the kind of influence on everything. Whenever something happens, you find out, you carry out investigation, you come to them and tell them this is the result that we have from the ground, and this is what we would to make a press conference to declare this. They say no, it's true that this is what happened, but this is what you have to say. You say that to satisfy them, but even if you don't say it to satisfy them, that at that same time they can sack you at any time. So the minister, whether you're minister of communication, you say what they say. You see what the recent interview of Minister Rene Emmanuel said. So he said what he wrote on his communique was not what he said on interview with the lady in USA. So he said for different things. He made it very clear that it was in his position, he wouldn't have allowed that the secretary should be arrested up to the level of that. He's dying. But when you come up with a communique as a minister of communication, it will be the contrary. So there are two different things.
There is what we call gatekeeping in journalism. It's not everything you go to the field to collect information that will go on air. The state broadcaster is the first to do that gatekeeping. For us in the private media organs, you gatekeep yourself because you know what can incriminate you. You know what can make you be haunted for no reason. It may be true.
Yeah, it may be true, of course.
Yes.
But they don't want to hear that.
Or if you want to say, there is a way you go about saying it, or maybe you have your program, you've invited somebody who can freely say it. So gatekeeping for the state broadcaster, when you come with your report, they cross-check. You do this paragraph, you have somebody who reads your script and they edit, they see this paragraph, they cross, you go and redo the report until it is what they want it to look like. So that is just it when you are with the government, when you are serving, not just anywhere, when you are serving somewhere, you do what your boss will ask you to do. You don't act according to what
the truth is that even though there might be deontology and all this thing of every profession, but the truth is if you are an investigation journalist, we carry out a proper investigation on a film or something, each time we bring it, the truth about what you are, facts that you are getting from the ground, and you are both deny that you should not give information. We do it once, twice. After all, later, if you are somebody who is really who are doing an impartial work, you have to leave that work. Because it's not normal. Because you cannot go and sacrifice your work. Yes, you're working out to satisfy the person, but not the truth is there and want you to say the contrary. So why would you
can develop a potty belly with all lies you've been storing?
No, it's not normal. At the end, you'll be the one that will be targeted.
Yes.
They are targeted by the population because they know that this is a person that they are misleading the citizen, knowing the truth and they misleading the citizen.
So, looking at the way things are going, the way politicians are being looked at, like opposition political. Do you think there is a future for the opposition in this country?
Well, it's really very complicated to the best of my knowledge because we thought that this 2025 there would have been a change in Cameroon because of what we also saw. Despite all attempt by the regime to say that Mr. Isaac Shoma is working with separatists. Mr. Isaac Shoma was saying this when he was here, a member of government, he was doing this. Cameroonians did not listen to them. They went out massively to vote for Mr. Isaac Shoma Bakare. So since this one fell and it didn't work, I doubt maybe it will take a very long time again for things to change in this country. So God, no, I know that what Cameroonians were even advocating for or were clamoring for was just change at the hem of the leadership or the head of state, because know that once there is a change, at least things
something different will happen before routine comes to
that is it, because the issue is that we have people like the one who are studying here who have been in power for 20 ministers, who have been in power 20 30 years, directors and all the like, and these things are instead drawing the country back. They are not pushing the country forward. They are not developing the country in any way. So that is the reason why we think that it should be changed at the hem of the government, because even if he was the son of president of the republic, I doubt, to me, I don't have any problem with that. He's still a Cameroonian citizen. Even the minister, the almighty minister Ferdinand Gongo, who is there, they say that he's one. People are saying that he's one control everything. So even if he was the one, there's no problem. Everybody can be the president of the republic. At least there is change at the hem of the state. We know very well that President Paul Biya has the right.
Grandpa has done his best.
He has done his best, and he has the right to, as every other citizen, to rest. The right to rest is a fundamental right to every citizen. So you have the right to rest. At least you have done your own best. At least there's time for you to even give chance for another person to come and
tell him that no shaking. Come rain, come shine, you stay there.
You stay there, so you don't stay there because of our interest. Because if you shake there, our interest will not be protected again.
They are exploiting.
So
change is important. Well, we see in Nigeria 65 years of independence, 17 head of state already. No matter how bad it's going to be, when there is constant change, something new, different will come. Somebody will come in with something that is good. Just a change for the past 17 years, you come and you do something, they remove another person, you see that development, positive development to follow suit.
Of course. That's the normal thing. Even in democracy, one of the pillars of democracy is about alternation of power. That power needs to be changing hands. Power needs to be changing. The situation where somebody will hold power and very strong, saying that no, Cameroon is me, I'm Cameroon and Cameroon is me. So at least we should give chance for other people to come and equally do their own best. We know very well that President of the Republic cannot do everything. He has done his own best. At least it's very important for him to give chance to another person to come and do what he can do for us to move forward. At least nobody owns Cameroon. Cameroon belongs to all of us. So not a particular property or property of a particular person.
Have you noticed, Cameroon, that almost all towns in Cameroon are piled with dumps, like trash everywhere?
No, it's not. It comes to the very common. If not even only, it's all time. I say the Yaoundé where this people are living. Everywhere in the police part of the country. Yaoundé, Douala, Baboussam, Bamenda, Yosaro, and all this thing is the same thing. Even the route network. You need to see the nature of the route network in Yaoundé. I just left Yaoundé. If you go to Yaoundé, you see the nature of the route network. You'll be surprised where these ministers are passing.
Yes, I was angry in Kumba because when we had the government delegates, Kelvin Nokombele in Kumba, there was no Izakam. People had a means of managing their refuse. People have built their houses and they have where they have their dustbins behind. People knew how to manage. But now with the Zakam, it is worse than before.
Well,
for me, I think at a certain point, the coming of Isakam is more harm than good to the population.
Well,
because people have developed laziness.
Well, I don't think the actual problem is the issue of Isakam. You know, the way Cameroon is managed. Because, you know, when some of these people will say the government delegate, not today, they said city mayor. Most of these people, they use their influence to do whatever they are doing. Sometimes when you get there, just do what you know to satisfy these people, and you remain. They know that they will still maintain you there, because some of them don't even have the time. This recently, I was seeing on social media that there's another government delegate somewhere in a very big town. That his only achievement this year has already been organizing ceremony and all that. No road has been tagged, no this thing has been done, and because he has a spot in Yaoundé, it's been protected by some people in high places. They will not have any problem. They will still be there. So that's the way there's a problem.
When people share percentages, how do you think things will shake?
No, nothing will shake with that kind of mentality. Nothing will shake with that kind of mentality.
And remember that this mandate is a mandate dedicated to women and the youth.
That's another way of distracting the people. So I don't think that is really reasonable to say. At least when you are minister or
so
president,
you are
working
this
for the entire country.
of confidence in favor of the youth and women?
Well, no, the truth is that they are using it as a political propaganda, but will they do it? Will this thing be applicable? That's a question. $1,000 million every Cameroonian is asking. Because if they were what they are saying, were to go do it, it would have been good. But they are using it as a political propaganda to deceive citizens.
Appease the mind.
To appease the mind of the people. They don't know that the youth, they are the majority of the population. And to the women too, we are talking about gender equality and violence everywhere on women. They want to use that opportunity to say that no, the women were protected. In a situation where we see a man kill a woman, they take him to prison. The next day they will say that no, the man they go and pay 50,000 and say that no, they can go and they release him. So they say that they want to protect the women now. No, it's when the woman is already dead. So who is the loser now? No, it's very funny. Very funny.
All right, Setante, we have done a rundown. Yeah. It was amazing having you on set. So please, you look straight into your camera and you give our viewers the last word.
Let me say, first of all, here, first address to the state of Cameroon, that I'm using this opportunity once more to cry to the government bench of Cameroon to do everything possible to release these young children, these young babies and their mothers who were arrested in Bamising village, a locality in the Ngokutunja division of northwest of Cameroon, since the 24th day of June 2025. And they are still being detained at the Bamenda Central Prison. So I'm using the opportunity to pray on the government bench of Cameroon today to do everything possible to ensure that these people are released. Because I still continue to say that they are being detained there arbitrarily. I'm going to use that opportunity to say that the government of Cameroon should do everything possible to ensure that they guarantee and protect the right to freedom of expression as well as assembly and association, because it's a fundamental right to every citizen to express or make his own voice heard. When we keep trying to shut up citizens, preventing them from expressing their view about the happenings in the country, or trying to use repression, or trying to use force or use imprisonment to silence people who are coming out to express their opinion, it becomes very disastrous, because we are in a modern society today where the rule of law is supposed to prevail. At least this, when we keep doing these things, we are taking the country backward and no longer forward. So the government of Cameroon should equally release all those who have been arrested as a result of this post-electoral conflict. And apart from that, they should equally do everything possible to ensure that all those who have been arrested and detained as a result of our ongoing armed conflict in northwest and southern region of Cameroon should be released. Meanwhile, the government should look for a permanent or a durable solution to the problem which is ongoing in northwest and southern region of Cameroon, because the people are going through a lot. I just visited these two regions recently, and I've seen what the population are going through, and I've been a victim of all these things. That is the reason why we think that a permanent solution to durable solution, which is through dialogue, addressing the root cause of the problem, will bring a better solution to this problem, so that our people can continue to live a better life in this part of the country.
All right, once more, thank you for accepting our invitation at a very short notice.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
And I want to say that, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from our guest. I want to believe that you've been able to pick one or two from our discussions this afternoon. We say thank you for your faithfulness to Well in Print. We are here because you are there. And want to say thank you to Nasser and his team at the technical bench for giving us these beautiful images. And of course, the sound quality we've been having this morning. And don't go away, for there are more interesting programs coming just after here. Until I come your way next week, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this is where we draw the curtains and take another rendezvous 11 to 12 p.m. On Friday. Have been FRIDA EGBESON, and of course, have a pleasant week ahead.